Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to another Diablo 2 build video, and today the build we're going over is probably the laziest necro you'll ever see, and that is the Lazybone Necro. Basically, it's a Summoner Poison Necromancer, and it does 11,000 Poison Nova damage. In the background, unfortunately, the stream viewers can't see this, but in the background, there's going to actually be me killing Bale with it, which is going to take a little while because unfortunately, Bale has a lot of HP, and he is somewhat resistant to poison, so we're going to have to kind of pad that out just a little bit. Hopefully it's done by now, and we can get into the stats for the character, which is going to be lovely stats over here, just enough strength for equipment and all the rest into vitality. That's it. That's literally what this build is. You just get enough strength to put your crap on, and then you just dump everything else in life because you really have nothing else to do with it. And you don't need any energy because, well, Poison Nova has a casting delay. Your minions, they're going to stick around for a while, and you just don't really have to do anything else. Now, as far as skills on this, it should be fairly obvious by what I called this thing at the very beginning that it is going to be kind of simple here. We do actually have a tract on here just because it's from an item, but that's not what we're going for. What I did is I went one in each curse and just have plus skills boosting them up to where we need it. You can get more points and lower resist. I think this is fine for what we do, because generally speaking, we completely trounce anything with poison that we want to do because our equipment is a little bit on the OP side. So as far as these things, we actually have just 1 point in Decrepify as well, just in case we need it. We don't have it on the hotkeys, but we can use it to kind of slow down enemies for our minions if we start running into a troublesome situation. The rest of the curses, kind of useless for us. You can go with Corpse Explosion if you want on here, which will let you which would be you want to do amp damage to boost its damage just a little bit, but that's more if you are potentially running like specific bosses and stuff like that. Like, that's the general tool you use for the straight poison necromancer. You don't need a lot of points in Corpse Explosion, you just need plus skills. It just increases the radius, it doesn't increase the damage. So as soon as you get the radius you need, it's fine. So that's what you do if you do just really fast runs. You just do Enigma, you get this and Poison Nova, you teleport through, you nuke things, and then you leave. It's really quick, it's really effective, it's one of the better Magic Find builds as far as Necromancers go. So definitely recommend that. As far as our actual investment in points, we have 1 point in Corpse Explosion and Teeth, and we have 20 points each in Poison Dagger, Poison Explosion, and Poison Nova. You can see we have over 10,000 damage on that, and our reason our screen, by the way, says 11,000 is we actually have plus poison damage as well. So, and lying character screen lies, just in case you're wondering on that point either. So we have really high damage here. This is almost as high as a Blessed Hammer Paladin, which I believe comes in at between 13 and 15,000 damage, depending on how many plus skills you have, which 13,000 for that is more than enough. As far as why it can be lazy, it's because we do have so many plus skills that we just need 1 point in each of our Golem Loves. And I forget, oh yeah, the Iron Golem's +1 because of our shield. It's an interesting shield. You guys might have seen it before. But yeah, we have 1 point in each of those, and we have just dumped Max Raised Skeleton first, because the only, like, normal summon we're going to be using is those. We have 1 point in Mage and Revive, because honestly, 14 revives is more than freaking enough for anything you're going to do with this guy. And then we are just dumping the rest of our points as we go into Skeleton Mastery. We're not going to be able to max it out. It's going to get up to, if I can actually open that screen. Let's go. There we go. It's going to get up to, I believe, 27 as far as its like max out point, which is still a decent amount of damage on that little bugger there. They become nice little monsters. They don't do a lot of damage individually, but they add up over time, especially with the Might from the Mercenary, which is the one I'm using right now. If you are going with the Corpse Explosion / Poison Nova route, go with Conviction Mercenary, which is Infinity, and you generally want Holy Freeze with that one to slow enemies down. And you wouldn't be using skeletons with that either. But Conviction and Holy Freeze would let you do more damage with the Corpse Explosion. Conviction does not help poison, but lower resist does. Lower resist is the only thing that lowers enemy poison resist. So that's kind of a good thing to do. Now, as far as equipment, I'm going to go over the main stuff first, and then I'll give you options for our shield. I'm going to cover the shield last. We, of course, want a bunch of Fungal Grand Charms and plus skills in that area. And just because these are some junk ones, they're just +1 base, and we have 1 life one in here. I don't really have many good ones of those. I have some faster hit recovery ones as well, but I didn't feel like tracking them down in my giant mule pile. Now, obvious choices are going to be Tranquil's Claws, which boosts our poison damage, gives us a little bit of faster cast rate, so we can actually teleport at a decent pace with this character. Thankfully. Otherwise, he'd be a complete waste of time. Now, if you can't get an Enigma, Chains of Honor actually works pretty well too. We are using Enigma for the teleport, which, as I mentioned, and this is really good for telestomping. We'll demonstrate that a little bit. I don't like doing it a lot, but basically whenever you teleport onto something, all your minions gather on the same square that you're in, which means they are all inside of the enemy if you teleported directly onto said enemy. It's the same strategy that the Blessed Hammer Paladin uses, where he wants to be inside the enemy, not just next to them. So you drop all your allies on there, and they'll slowly trickle out, but they'll be whacking the crap out of him along the way. So, and this also has +2 all skills. If you use Chains of Honor, you'll have really good resist. We have garbage resist right now. So, Enigma, +2 skills. It doesn't have faster cast on it, which is kind of sad, but it's okay. 2 Stones of Jordans, plus skills. You can use Bull Kathos if you want, if you need more life. I generally prefer these for the mana because we are kind of like a nice balance of mana for reviving and getting skeletons and stuff. For the belt, I'm using Arachnid's Mesh because it's just amazing. It's the only +1 skill belt for everybody, and it's got 20% faster cast, so I'm not going to complain about that. There are other things you can use for it, but this is just a really nice belt to have and transfer around. It's one of the things that I recommend you kind of aim for fairly early on. We got War Travelers for a bit of Magic Find. Obviously, if I was Magic Finding with this right now, I would be putting like Magic Find Small Charms down here. We'd have probably about 200% Magic Find with everything combined. A little bit higher. Actually, probably closer to about 250 if I had the charms and stuff in. Because Enigma plus that, plus our Ist Shaco. If you are hurting on resist, don't be afraid to put an in this and actually help you out there. Or Ist in your Shaco is usually your best like first Shaco socket. So you can actually find better stuff and still be able to survive with it. Beyond that, there are other things you can throw in there. Some people have thrown bears in there for more damage reduction. Some people do... Well, I'm trying to think what else they do in there. Cham, sometimes for cannot be frozen. There's a lot of options. It's just the Cham option, the bear option, stuff like that are more like for specific builds rather than just for general use. This is the one that I transfer around to everybody. As far as amulets, we've got kind of a crappy one here. I mean, it's not terrible. It's decent. But there are things I'd rather have on. I'd rather have 20% faster cast rate. I'd rather have... Honestly, I'd rather not have as few mods on it as we do. +2 Necromancer, 15% faster cast rate, 51 mana, regenerate mana, and all resist 17%. It's good enough. It does what it does. So, that was a caster amulet craft, and I forget how long ago I made that. But it's not bad, and you can make them yourselves. It's about the only real hard thing to do is get the resist and a 20. So most people just aim for the 220s, which is 2 of the skill levels and 20% faster cast rate. All resist just make it gravy. I would like stats on it, honestly. Now, we'll go back to that in just a minute. Our wand, very obviously, is going to be Death Web. Death's Web is really hard to find. You can use pretty much any +2 skill wand, but this one is kind of unique in the fact that it has the minus enemy poison resist. So once you've broken enemy poison resist, this drops it by 53% with our poison facet in there. So yeah, it becomes pretty gnarly. We also get plus poison skill damage from our not perfect poison facet. It was a 4/5 if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I put it in there. But this gives you +2 all skills and +2 poison and bone. You can get a similar kind of effect with a white wand or with... there's a few +2 wands that can actually work with this. This one's just like the ultimate goal for this particular build. So if you want to build a poison necro, try to aim for this, but you don't always need it. There is the option of going a poison dagger necromancer and just using the Nova to kind of help out with things, but that's... you generally need to be a bit more tanky to kind of pull that nonsense off. Now, as far as our shield, this one's going to be confusing to some of you guys who didn't watch the best item that I found video. This is one of those rare items you are probably never going to find in your life. It was +2 necromancer skills. It had +3 poison nova. Had all resistances and 2 sockets. And some other junk on there like faster block rate. but that's pointless. But so we just put 2 poison facets in it because it is the perfect poison necromancer shield. Generally speaking, any of the unique, well, not any of the unique, you could go for like homunculus or something like that for the shield and be perfectly fine. You could go with spirit and be perfectly fine. It's not necessary to get this, but I like it. If you do want to try this item on your character, I already do actually have that upload on the Discord where we have the item like in the shield slot. So if you want to try it out, obviously don't trade those in like single player forums or anything like that. They will probably ban you for it because, well, I make these available publicly for download. So they're considered duped in that regard. But yeah. So, yay, Bramble Shell, my favorite shield I've ever found. Probably it literally is the best item I've ever found in my entire like Diablo 2 career. So, that's that. But that's all the equipment, stats, skills. So, all we have left to do is demonstration time. I mean, we already killed Bale, but I'm going to go ahead and show off something a little bit less annoying here. And yeah, this is why we want those resist sometimes, because those guys were hurting like a truck. So, let's go ahead and take these guys out. Okay, so they are down. Okay, so let's see what can we telestomp. I'm going to go ahead and revive some things so we actually have some meat in our telestomp here. So let's just get these guys up. You can see that that's draining our mana relatively quick. So let's go ahead and take a mana potion right there. And we're going to telestomp something. Let's see. Let's telestomp you, because you can see as we land on them, the guys just all appear in the middle of them and they can just start beating the crap out of them. And let's just poison Nova you because you're kind of in the way. But as we telestomp, the things actually land on top of whatever we're aiming at. And they generally destroy it. It's really effective. Ooh, and that's another thing to go to unidentified field. Nice. Yes, I'm collecting paladin shields because, well, yeah, it's another thing. So we're all amp damage now. Doesn't really matter to me because my minions take most of the damage. Because, well, we are the lazy necromancer. We don't have to think about actually doing anything. We can let them do all the work for us, and we just kind of every now and then, yeah, there's a Poison Nova for you guys. Poison Nova for you guys. And it just destroys everything. And this is Act 5 hell. This is the end of the game. We're just ripping them to pieces because we are the badass. But that is going to have been the lazy necromancer, Poison Necromancer build. Because, well, we just have an army to do our tanking for us. I will probably do a little bit more active one eventually, just to show that off as well. But there are a few videos about that online, like Dabrunski did one, and I don't think Llama has. But I know Dabrunski has. I'm pretty sure at least 2 other people have. If I remember, I'll try to put a link down to their stuff as well. But they did the more proactive work, teleporting in, blowing everything up. I'm just wandering through the area, getting all my uniques and killing stuff for fun. Kind of necromancer. And you get enough magic find that you do find decent amount of stuff. In fact, I think I found a lightsaber with this character right before doing the big identify of high uniques. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on Diablo 2, where we'll probably have another build and a little bit more fun. And if you guys want to catch these live, go check it out on the Twitch streams. I will be taking down the initial views of these on there because I do have the series coming up on YouTube as well. So, yay! And if you guys are wondering and watching this live, I will be recording some more after this. I try to keep these about 2 hours of recording, so keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This is an Alzorath.